y'all, it's Monique here, and we are back with another video. Yes, thank you so much. Let's give it up for yourself for tuning in today. I'm super excited. Based on the title, you guys can see that today is going to be a 2024 recap. Yes, indeed. So we're going to be getting into how my 2024 went, and you can also comment below how your 2024 has been going. Matter of fact, if you haven't already, make sure you click like, comment, and subscribe. Okay. But yes, so like I said, this is going to be a recap of my 2024, and there's a lot of things that transpired this year for me. But I was thinking of like what questions and stuff like that to ask myself, and I was like, based on these different things that have happened in my life, I think I should give you guys just a little bit of a backstory, so that would take us into like 2023. So let me do that very quickly. So 2023 was a very, very rough year from jump. I mean, like as early as I believe like March. Yeah, like me and my partner, we weren't doing the best as far as seeing eye to eye, and then like out of nowhere, he comes home at like 9 o'clock at night, and he was like, take this. That's like a pregnancy test. He caught me off guard. So I go take the pregnancy test, and I'm like, I'm not gonna be pregnant, this and the third or whatever. Y'all, I go in the bathroom, and why the test was positive? Out of nowhere, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm pregnant. What you mean? Like, it's super. I thought, you know, me, what you mean I'm pregnant? I've always been told, you know, that I have a lower fertility rate since giving birth to my oldest daughter, Kaylee. I mean, the doctors wanted to give me a hysterectomy at 21. You know what I'm saying? So for me to find out that now here I am pregnant with my third child, I'm like, what is going on? Like, this can't be. But yes, I found out I was pregnant in March of 2023. So I told him this is his first biological child. He's an amazing stepfather and father figure to Morgan and Kaylee. So shout out to my baby. He does his big one. But yeah, he was so surprised. He was shocked. We literally jumped in the car by like 10 o'clock and drove to Florida. We drove to Florida to go see his family, and the whole ride, it was just like, I can't believe that I'm pregnant. You know, so we then started sending our close friends and loved ones, like during the drive down, you know, that we were expecting. Then broke the news to his mom and siblings in person, obviously, and they were super excited. So everything was going great. We get back, and the next thing you know, I am just like having the nausea, the vomiting, but I mean, like, it was insane, guys. I couldn't keep anything down, not even water. I don't know, women, like, comment below, are you like me? Like, when you find out that you're pregnant, it's like now your body just want to be overly pregnant. Like, I was throwing up every single second of the day. I couldn't do anything. Like, my first trimester for my girls were completely hard. But this go around, it was just like, this pregnancy was just so different, just off the break. So I just, it became to a point where it was concerning as far as how much vomiting I was having. So we decided to go to the emergency room. So we go to the emergency room because I was having like abdominal pain, and I was like regurgitating like really, really bad. And at that point, like I said, I couldn't keep down water. So I'm like, I'm pregnant, I can't keep down water. This isn't a good sign. So we go to the ER. We sat in the waiting area for maybe about 10 hours. And then they finally seen me, and they was like, oh, we don't think that the baby is going to make it. And so, you know, we go from just finding out that we're expecting, and, you know, we weren't seeing eye to eye, but now here we are. This beautiful blessing is here. Let's make things work. Let's get over the stubbornness, whatever it is, and let's work things out. Now we've been told that we don't think the baby's going to make it. The doctor who gave us the news wasn't empathetic or nothing of that nature. Like, it was literally like they just went and read things off from Google. Like, it wasn't an OB, it was just a regular ED, emergency room, or emergency doctor, that gave us the news. And it was just like, yeah, with this, you know, you have a cyst here. So it was either a cyst or a blood clot, something like that. And there's a high chance that once you become 20 weeks, the baby will die. So that put me in a very depressive state very early on in the pregnancy, because I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to get attached to a baby. You know, as women, when we first find out that there's a little life growing inside of us, we instantly just want to like nurture and protect and everything as much as we possibly can. And here I am being told that there may be a chance that I could do all those things, but come 20 weeks, the baby may not live. Aww. So my partner, he's very God-fearing. And, you know, he was much more stronger than I was, you know, because I found myself slipping into a place where I was listening to what the doctors was telling me, but then also I'm battling my faith. Like, is this going to happen? Is it not? Like, I wasn't mentally strong as I would have liked. And I don't know if it was just the emotions from the pregnancy mixed to my regular anxiety that I normally, you know, have. So it was very tough. And so next thing you know, we finally was able to get prenatal help after I had to wait till I was about 3 months. I don't know why, but that's how they do it at the facility that we were going to. They didn't prescribe any prenatal pills or nothing until I was able to see them, which is when the baby turns 3 months. And I guess that's when you, because that's so many people were saying that they wanted to have a baby, then they changed their mind and maybe abort the baby. So to avoid all of that, they made you wait. I don't know, it's above me, but yeah. So I got into a dark space very early on, just feeling like I failed. And just putting that pressure on myself on a daily. Whenever I wasn't able to eat or drink something, I blamed myself like wholeheartedly. And it didn't do me good. So things were going, and I was dreading, you know, getting to 20 weeks. You know, it was very hard for me to enjoy my pregnancy because I'm like, the doctor said, you know what I'm saying? Like, instead of just trusting in the Lord and letting Him order our steps and just, just keeping my faith, you know what I'm saying? And just trusting and believing what my body is saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, of course, you're carrying life, but in the same token, God has the bigger say. So it was just a lot of things that was causing me to like be on edge with every single thing, on top of trying to be the best mom that I can to my children that I already have. You know, here, Katie and Morgan, who are already my #1 priorities. Aww. So just feeling like if I go along with this pregnancy and there's any possibility that the baby may not live, you know, that's what if something happens to me by trying to, you know, create this baby? Am I being selfish? You know what I'm saying? So I was doing a lot up here through the nights where I couldn't get sleep, and it caused me to have pregnancy insomnia. So there were a lot of nights where I wasn't getting a lot of sleep, when you should be doing a lot of sleeping when you're pregnant. So again, that's just me being honest, saying that I put a lot of stress on myself. And then with my partner, this being his first child, he has a lot of things as to how he would like for his baby to, you know, be raised, as far as like, I mean, he's, when it comes to eating, whatever the baby's drinking, whatever, like he's like, because he's strictly plant-based. And at the time I wasn't, which I'm still not 100% either, so let me not fake. but he is. And so we just had to very quickly in that moment just try to see how we can blend, and you know what I'm saying, to make this work as far as now bringing a child into this world. And that's something that we're still, she just turned 1 Christmas Eve. Happy birthday, baby. That's something that we still find ourselves trying to, what word do I want to use? That's something that we find ourselves today, like still trying to work together with when it comes to the upbringing of our child. So fast forward to 20 weeks. I go in and we do an ultrasound, and at this time I had Morgan and Katie with me. They were super excited. They was like, oh, I can't wait to see the baby, this, that, and the third. And the tech that we had, she was not nice, y'all. She was just like, oh, this is not that type of appointment. She killed the mood very early on. This is not that type of appointment, and I got a job to do, and so if y'all was coming here for that, this is not that. And I'm just like, well, they're excited to see the baby, and tone it down a notch. You know, you making the joy, you know, leave this room very quickly. So I did not like that at all. I was very upset. I had to tell Dad all about it. Plus, I'm at this appointment, and I already have in the back of my mind what I was already told at 20 weeks, that there's a possibility that the baby don't make it. Now here I am going to this ultrasound, and you killing the mood when I'm trying to be up here. You know what I'm saying? On top of that, I got to be strong mom because my babies are here. So long story short with that, we had an abnormal ultrasound. The tech took us to the room, me and my girls, and she was just like, the nuclear fold, I'll make sure that I drop pictures and information as well. The nuclear fold measures at a higher percentile on the baby. So that's in the back of the baby's neck, the fluid that they measure. And it's basically where they check to see if baby may have something like Down syndrome or something like that. But earlier on, I had blood work, and those test results came back that the baby was perfectly normal. So they was like, oh, we would like to do an amniocentesis. It's basically when they stick a needle, a very long needle, in my stomach, and it reaches to the baby to take cells from the baby to do testing to see if the baby would be special needs. So here I am again, just remaining in this dark place, because I'm like, why me? You know, and that's just a natural question, I think. But then I'm like, God is saying, why not you? You know what I mean? And I'm just like, my babies are here. I can't get upset, but I was hurting, and I wanted my partner to be there, but he was on the road, so he couldn't be there. And I was just like, it was all happening just too fast. You know what I'm saying? So when that happened, I shared the news with him. The doctor spoke to Dad on speakerphone, and we decided that we weren't going to do that test because it was a possibility that by doing that, the baby could die from the test. So we just said, you know, we're not going to do that, and however she comes out, we will accept her. So it was a lot of nights that I didn't continue to sleep because I was just like, I've been a full-time entrepreneur for the last 4 years, and I was like, maybe this is the reason why God had things in place this way, because he knew that I may need to give majority of my time to a child who may need it more. So again, that blame that I was putting on myself, you know. And shout out to my friends and my family. You know, I didn't immediately tell anyone, but shout out to my family and friends when we did tell them. They were just super supportive. My pregnancy showed me who was there for me and who wasn't. You know, because there are a lot of times in friendships where you can overextend yourself and get it. Granted, people go through things just like you're going through something. Nobody can just stop what they're doing and attend to you. However, at that time, I feel like a full pregnancy, there were people that I have shown up for tremendously in their darkest hour that did not do the same. And that was, the baby's now 1. Some people I still have not seen or talked to. And that is okay. But like I said, my pregnancy was very revealing to me. I had a lot of time to sit by myself, you know, because yeah, that's what you do when you're pregnant. you just eat, be by yourself sometimes, and try to sleep when you can, I guess. So that was definitely me. So we decided to get an echocardiogram done, to make sure that the baby didn't have any holes in her heart and that the valves of her heart was developing. I got the results on the spot. They were perfect. Super excited for that. And next thing you know, come September, fast forward, my birthday is September 15th. Rent was paid the first week of September. Within like a day or two, a fire alarm goes off. Now, where we used to stay, the fire alarm went off like, it seemed like every month, like random testing they would do. So I thought it was just that I just got comfortable in the bed. I mean, I was on my body pillow. The kids just went to their room. I think we had just finished watching a movie or something like that. Like, my partner come in here and say, this is not a drill. We gotta get up. You gotta get up and put some clothes on. It is a fire. My living room immediately was like flooding from the front door. My neighbor who lived on top of me, sending prayers to her. From my understanding, she still is facing drug addiction. Something caught fire in her place. She was under the influence and she left. Hey guys, it's Monique here. We are currently under construction. I know our anniversary is in 2 days. Had a lot of things planned, but the unit above me caught fire, which caused my entire unit to flood. So as you can see, it's water damage. It's from the front all the way to the back. This is after like a day or two. We came back to grab some personal items, and this is the aftermath. We're just going to, this is the stove. It's my kitchen. Everything that was in the refrigerator and freezer is completely done. Everything will be postponed at a later date. I will definitely keep you all posted. I cannot work in my kitchen at all, which is what I need. There's holes just throughout the unit, them trying to air everything out. But luckily, we've been staying at the Airbnb where our products are located. You know, we're blessed and highly favored, so we can't complain. We're expected to move into our new place next week. My mom made that. So just keep us in your prayers, and there's more to come to Melanin Effect. So I stopped past the unit after I dropped her off at school. These are the current living conditions. As you can see, we've been trying to box up so that we can move. My apartment complex tried to tell me that it was suitable and livable for myself and my children, and mama wasn't having it. It's new holes in the ceiling. This just looks disgusting. So far we broken down my bedroom, and then I went in the living room and I took a few steps and I realized that the floor was still wet. So I immediately called them and let them know, like, y'all need to do y'all big one, put y'all fans back in here, because we not standing here. They still have us in the hotel. I'll keep you guys updated, but I can't wait to move. Needing to move. I'm huge at this point, and next thing you know, we find ourselves living out of bags in the hotel. So I didn't want my kids to live like that, so I sent them with their dads, and it was like, you know, me and Babe, we just like, we thugged it out. And then came towards the end of October, God blessed us with our new home. And when we did that, things was rocky moving in, just stuff not being up to par, you know. And so it caused a lot of additional stress with dealing with those things on top of dealing with a very high risk pregnancy. So once that happened, you know, Morgan was dealing with some things in school, and you know, so we ended up moving, so she no longer went to that school anymore. And next thing you know, I found myself no longer living in Southeast. You know, I've never, I can't say never, because I knew there would be a point where I no longer lived in Southeast, but I'm a Southeast baby, okay? Born and raised. And so now to not live in Southeast anymore and to live like an hour away from my close family and friends, and I was, you know, pregnant, that's what I mean by like I spent a lot of time alone, because I was depending on my friends to take the drive to come and see me. Granted, my best friend, shout out to my Isha, shout out to Van, shout out to cousin the kid. When I tell you those three, and this is no shade to anybody else, but those three were like my rock. Seriously. My mom, my sister Nisha, like, shout out to everyone. Like, Real, my best friend Real, you know, he ended up moving and welcoming a baby 1 month before my baby. So me and his partner was pregnant at the same time, so that was special to me. So I now have another godchild. Shout out to my godchildren. I have JC and I have Shiloh. I love y'all so much. Yeah, all girls. But yeah, so my tribe just loved on me as hard as they could, but didn't know really to the extent of how much I was suffering mentally with that transition. You know, I started having suicidal thoughts. And if you are someone who has ever battled with suicidal thoughts or know someone who has, if you have insurance, you can call that 1-800 number on the back of your insurance card to seek immediate help. You can also text a number. I'll make sure I drop the contact information, you know, to help someone, even if you feel like you can't help yourself, you know, because I was in a very dark place during my pregnancy, and it was very hard to enjoy my pregnancy. So it was a lot, being away from my kids, living in hotels and all this other stuff. But next thing you know, we got settled, and my due date was Christmas Day. Come Christmas Eve, my water broke in the bed. But I had a little cover, the waterproof blanket already on the bed, because I laid down a lot, y'all, so I was already prepared. But my water broke in the bed, and next thing you know, my partner, he rushed me to the hospital, and the baby wasn't moving as much as she should. So I had already had a birth plan that I was going to keep my placenta. I'm also going to do that video because I have a lot of people who want to know about the encapsulation for the placenta. I'll do a separate video for the mamas there. But yeah, I was like, I have a birth plan. I want to keep my placenta. I'm not doing no delivery without no epidural. Okay? Shout out to you natural mamas, but I'm not built like that. And yeah, things didn't go that way. I had my first C-section, which was the craziest experience I have ever experienced in my entire life. For those of you mamas who have had multiple C-sections, shout out to y'all. Not only did I have a C-section, I then developed an infection from the C-section, and I could barely walk. I couldn't stand up. It was too much. Oh no. Ooh, ouch. The C-section was horrible. Like, I have endured a lot of things, but a C-section, absolutely not. Okay? So, baby girl came, and she, you know, I was nervous because I didn't know, like, how she was going to come out, you know, based on the information I just shared with you all. But all praise to the Most High. Jael, she came out 100% healthy. Give it up for God. Give it up for me. Give it up for Dad. Give it up for Lord. Thank you so much. She was 100% healthy. okay? Healthy. That baby came out healthy, y'all. I don't know. I'm just super excited that she came out perfect. She's perfect in every little way. Aww. And me, on the other hand, here I go. They ain't gonna need dying. I needed 3 blood transfusions. It's always me. I needed 3 blood transfusions. I've never had a blood transfusion. I've always been threatened with blood transfusions throughout the years because my iron is always severely low. Like right now, I know for a fact my iron is low. But, you know, to have 3 blood transfusions was a lot. At the time, it was like an out-of-body experience. I had so much adrenaline, and they don't talk that much about the mom's comment, if you know what I'm talking about, the shakes or the jitters or the chill that you get after having a baby. What was that about? My delivery C-section, I had throw up in my hands. People did not attend to me like they should have at GW, and this is my experience, and that is a place that I worked at for 10 years, and God did me like that. But I'm gonna say that for another day. But yeah, Jael came out, aside from me having 3 blood transfusions, she came out, she was perfectly healthy. Now we're in 2024, and I'm recovering from the infection. I had like fluid built up on my incision. It was so puffy, it was a mess. But that was gone. But I continue to have now postpartum, and it had got to a point it was like very severe because Jael wasn't taking a bottle, she wasn't taking a pacifier. Even now she's 1 and I'm still nursing, and she barely takes a bottle. Like, you can give her my breast milk in a bottle and she'll drink a little bit of it. Sometimes she may finish the bottle, but that's very rare. But yeah, just being the vessel at 30, it like having a baby in your 30s is much different than having a baby in your 20s. Like, comment below if you know what I'm talking about. Like, I feel like when I was in my 20s and I was having Morgan and Kaylee, you know, I was able to bounce back much easier. You know what I'm saying? I was much more like flexible, much more like just not as. Now it's like my body has aged and I'm not that young spring chicken anymore. So it's like the bounce back didn't bounce back like it was supposed to. Like, I plucked that rubber band, but it like didn't boing. It just did a little, and that was it. So I have in my eyes, I have like a mom body now. So I just got a lot of things that I need to do. But during my pregnancy, I had realized that on FaceTime with my sister that my neck was, you know, we laughed about it. We was like, what's wrong with your neck? Like, she like, girl, your neck big as hell. I was like, yeah, my little fat neck. I'm thinking it's just the pregnancy. Fast forward to 2024. I'm like, I need to get my thyroid checked because I don't feel myself. And at this time, I'm just having just like things happening back to back. And I'm like, I just had a baby. Like, be gentle, Lord. Like, what's going on? So I go see my thyroid doctor, and the next thing you know, she's like, well, it has increased in size significantly. And I have a nodule, where I had a nodule on the right side of my thyroid. And it wasn't cancerous. It was just, it was benign. It was something that we just needed to pay attention to and monitor. But throughout my pregnancy, it was growing. And so when I went to go get it checked, she's like, well, we're going to have to do a biopsy. And she stuck the needles in my neck and everything. And next thing you know, she sent it off to pathology. The results took a month to come back. And when that happened, I knew that something wasn't right, because I'm like, I had it done before and I got my results in like a week. But this time it took like literally going on a month for my results to come back. And so I'm like, this is odd. And although I know I need to do better as far as with my eating, because like I said, I'm in my 30s now. I just turned 34 in September. So now I'm like, okay, I can't be doing the same things that I used to do. You know what I'm saying? I actually do need to pay attention and listen to my body. And when you're pregnant, you're not thinking about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just eating because, one, I'm eating because I feel like I can. And then two, I'm just like, I'm super excited because baby is allowing me to eat. So if this is what baby wants, you know, I'm having cravings, this is what I want. And so long story short, the results came back that it was a 50% chance that I had cancer. Thinking about, I honestly prefer to like have the whole thing removed. Like, is that a possibility?
Yeah. So the benefit of removing the whole thing is, you know, we talked about the risk of cancer, and that's about 50%, right? So the benefit if you remove the whole thing is then you're done. If we do the surgery and it comes back being cancer, then we would probably have to go back and do the other side, in which case, you know, you would be done already. Sometimes if the cancer is very low grade, you could just do a hemithyroidectomy and just monitor. But if it has any aggressive features on the final pathology, we would recommend a completion thyroidectomy. So that's the only benefit. You do have some small nodules on the right side. So, I'm sorry, you have small nodules on both sides. So
Right.
then you don't have to worry about those. But the only nodule that meets criteria for the biopsy, or why we worked everything up, is just on the right side. Why do you want to do both sides?
Because I want to be done with it. And
Okay.
I don't want to have to like risk going under twice. I'd rather, if it, like, just in case if it does come back to be cancerous, it can already be taken care of, you know, rather than have to go through that entire thing all over again.
I hear you. That's fair. I think that's...
Well, when the doctor told me that, I was confused. I was like, first of all, why you gonna say that to me? I ain't even do nothing to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to work for your husband. Like, how you gonna tell me something like that, doc? Like, you supposed to be helping me. Like, what you mean I might have cancer? Like, I have kids. I just had a baby. Like, my baby just a little teeny weeny, like, baby. She's not even 6 months yet. I'm like, they need me. What do you mean? And so again, I started putting more pressure on myself, thinking that I failed myself yet again. This time, not just the baby. I'm like, this time, not just the baby, not just myself, but I'm like, dang, I feel everybody. Like, Kaylee, Morgan, the baby, my partner, myself. Like it just was like boom, 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 so much. And so she said I need to go in and cut. She said I need to go in and cut, and it needs to be done ASAP. So things got real fast. You know, within a 6 month span, I go from having a baby to getting 3 blood transfusions to having a infection in my uterus to now get ready to have my neck cut. So she ended up, I was going to have the whole thing removed, but, you know, we said, like, literally a few minutes before they took me back, like, we're just going to do half of the thyroid, because if they would have removed the whole thing, I would have needed to be on medication for the rest of my life. And although I have, like, some growth on the left side, it's just something that we have to monitor. It's not something that needs to be removed at this time. So all praise to God yet again. She went in there and she removed everything that was growing. So let's give a shout out to my doctor. I appreciate you so much. And I got labs done recently, and I don't need to take medication at this time. So that means I'm doing something right. I gotta celebrate the small victories, child, because I don't give myself enough credit. So yeah, 2024, with the adjustment of the baby coming, I said, you know what, I have to get myself out of this dark space. So I welcomed the baby, and Morgan, she was used to being the youngest, and I knew it was going to be a huge transition for her, you know, now being a big sister after being the youngest for 7 years. So I decided to write my first children's book. Yay! Yes, my children's book is called Best Gift Ever. Shout out to those of you who have purchased my book. It's a great book for if you have children, nieces, nephews, grandchildren, if you auntie, uncle, if you're a teacher. Like, I wanted to do something for my children because mentally I didn't even know that I would be able to make it to this day because I gave myself every reason to check out so many times over the last year alone. So just to be able to be here and to tell my story is just it's a huge blessing. So I do have a skincare business, Melanin Effect, and I wasn't able to do my business the way that I wanted to because, again, just dealing with the postpartum and everything and just adjusting to being home with the baby because I'm a full-time mom. I wasn't able to do those things to, like, you know, try to get me to find my rhythm, like just new dreams, new aspirations, like just the new Monique now being a mom of 3. Like, how am I going to show up for myself? It was just a huge adjustment, so I put a lot of things off. So now I'm like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. Anything that I'm thinking of, I'm doing it because life is short. And whatever sticks. But I'm not a person who is afraid to try. And it took a long time to get to this place. Now we at the end of the year, I'm actually at that place. So I'm very hopeful for 2025 to see what type of things that's in store for me, my family, definitely my relationship. My connection with God has strengthened tremendously. This is the most that I've ever been in my word. And it's just a huge blessing. So for any parent, mom, and people don't talk about it, you know, as far as dad, because I think dads go through postpartum too. I don't think that it just affects mom because dad, like men, they're natural providers and things like that. So they put a lot of stress on themselves. On top of that, you may have men who don't feel comfortable with expressing certain things because they don't want to come off as weak or they don't want their partner to worry. So I just want to give a big shout out to anyone who is looking to become pregnant, if you are pregnant, if you've had baby, if you're a parent already, if you lost a child, if you are just whatever it is, having difficulty with conceiving. I'm sending you a bunch of love and encouragement to let you know that you are not alone. Feel free to reach out to me. I am sending virtual hugs and I don't mind being there to love on whomever who needs it because I know personally how that feels. And at this point, it's not about me. It's how I can help others. So that's what I'm doing. That's what's on my agenda. So like I said, 2025 is approaching, and I don't know where this year is going to take me, but what I do know is that I'm going to allow God to order my steps and not go based on what Monique wants to do, you know, because I feel like I would be a lot further had I just followed his instructions. You know, have y'all ever found yourself like, Lord, send me a sign, and then he sends you a sign, and the next thing you're like, no, send me another one, and next thing you know, he sends you another one, like, no, another, next thing you know, he smack you on top of your head with a stop sign, you still saying sends you another sign. That has been me. So I'm no longer doing that, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see how not only can I show up for myself, but how I continue to show up for others, because I have a thing about me that I attract good energy. That's something that I get told a lot. So I just want to pour that energy into myself so that my cup can continue to rise, because for a long time in 2023 and 2024 my cup was very empty. So as it's feeling, I want to be able to pour into other people, because I'm no good at pulling from an empty glass. So that is my 2024 with a taste of 2023 recap. And I want to thank you guys so much for supporting my videos. There are more stories to come. If you have any ideas, or shout out to the people who have been commenting for my Q&A video that I'm getting ready to do soon. If you have some questions that you would like for me to answer, feel free to like drop them below. My video didn't save, but Happy New Year to y'all, and stay blessed, enjoy, make sure y'all do y'all big one 2025. I'm rooting for everyone. Make sure y'all don't forget to click like, comment, and subscribe, and I shall see y'all in 2025. Peace.